Alright, so we got ourselves one of these video camera microphone doorbell thingity-dingities, and it looks a little like this. So included in the package for how to install this crazy thing is these neat little pamphlets. They just tell you what to do and when and how. So step one, installing the Power Pro kit, which is this thing. Now the reason for that is that the power delivered to a typical doorbell is not going to be consistent, and it's going to have spikes and stuff that you don't want for your doorbell. So where do we start? So here's all the kit components. Step one, download the app. Well, I'll do that in a minute, I suppose. Here we are. Step two, you got to plug in this ring component thing. So it says to take cover off your doorbell, that's the indoor part of the unit, and then wire in these little plasticky clip fellas so that it looks like that. So there's two wires on this kit labeled front and trans, and there should also be the same two things, front and trans, labeled on the inside of the doorbell. So you take the wires off of those respective terminals, plug them into these matching little terminal clip things, and then put the ends of them, these guys, back onto the actual doorbell. Well, here's my current doorbell, one of these normal box style ones. The lid comes off super easy. The wiring isn't color coded, but faintly in the plastic you can see one of these is labeled front and the other trans, so that's going to be easy enough for me to deal with. And I've got this enormous cavity on this side where I can store the ring box and the other little wire adapter things, and this should go easily. Now, one of the things it says in the instructions is to turn the power off at the circuit breaker, but how are you supposed to know what circuit your doorbell is on? Now, I took the time when I bought this house to map out all of the circuits in the entire house. So I know what every single power outlet point is in this house, with one exception, the doorbell. I never thought about it. So anyway, it turns out it's on circuit 12, which I had to figure out by trial and error. So circuit 12 is now turned off, and we can boogie. Okay, once you've got the doorbell part of it worked out, then you need to do the outdoor button thing, and that's where this nice panel comes into play. So you open the packaging up, get all your stuff out. Can really skip a few of these. Then it says to physically mount the thing. Now I've got a different idea for that mounting plate. I'll show you that in a second. But the trick is you pop the faceplate off and attach the wires using this connector here, or these little wiry fellas. That's this thing. And just wire it into the existing two wires that are sticking out of the wall. This is my current doorbell. This is what 10 years will do to white plastic. The problem is that the doorbell faces sideways with respect to the door opening, and that's no good for me. So I've had to create this handy little bracket, which I just carved it out of wood basically, but it's got holes where it needs so that this can sit in the place of the doorbell and angle the ring doorbell at a 45-degree angle so that it's pointing for the most part at the person at the front door. There's still a bit of space on this side of my porch for somebody to hide from the camera, I suppose, but this is still going to do the trick. I was lucky enough to discover that the wires from my existing doorbell just barely reach. And there we go, the new doorbell. It's in setup mode right now. That's what that spinning light pattern means. So as soon as this thing finishes figuring itself out, I can use the app to get connected.